PointsBet. Use promo code CHGO when you sign up to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. I'm Matt Peck. You can follow me on Twitter at Bulls_Peck. You can follow Big Dave here at BAW, BAWL Sports. And welcome back.
The return.
Warm for him.
It's
the return.
Shout
part
out to
2.
you, John
Part
Sabine.
1 was Caruso.
You are the
part
man.
2, Mr. Will Gottlieb. Follow him on Twitter at Won't Gottlieb. You can follow us at CHGO_Bulls. Guys, going for a 3-game win streak tonight.
We're going streaking.
Against the Sacramento Kings, or as our pal Sabine calls them, the Kongs.
The Kongs, yes.
Kangs.
We got some game notes, so let's start there. Sure. Updates. Nothing further on Caruso. Clearly had a great night on Saturday. Happy to have him back. We didn't hear anything about maybe increasing his 24 to 30-minute window. Maybe we will. What we have heard for sure is that Zach LaVine is back in the lineup tonight after sitting out on Saturday. Initially, I feel like all of our thoughts were Kings might be another game where Zach could not play and get some rest.
Yeah.
Big Dave, what do you think?
I thought this was going to be the game he was going to rest. I was ready for him to rest. I was ready to just marvel at the whatever cool shades he was going to have on and nice watch and shoes and all of that. And then when I heard he was playing, I was like, I don't think he should be in there. And then this man right here, looking all smooth with the green on, got the ankles out. This man right here talked me down right off the ledge, man. And I
don't know that they're being strategic about which games that he's missing. I think it's just day to day. How are you feeling? And if he's good to go, then he's good to go. It seems like, if they're going to try to game it out and maybe he sits this one because DeMar can probably carry you against the Kings, and then he'll be ready to go against the Jazz on Wednesday, Suns on Friday. He didn't really give me any inclination, Billy didn't, that there's anything going on here other than, does he feel good today? Yeah. And it seems like he does.
And I like what you said, that one of the reasons you think he's playing is because this is, even though they can win this is a game they've got to win.
They have to win.
And that's why he's in there. More so, when you're playing the Jazz, you're playing the Suns, those are tougher teams.
Right.
But you have to get this game no matter what. And that
I think
playing.
2 out of the 3 this week would be a really successful week. Obviously, the Kings are maybe the easiest one on the schedule, praying that there's no trap game action here. But, assuming they get this one, then one of the Jazz Suns would be. So
the Jazz, who the Bulls did prove that they could beat earlier this season.
Yes, we did.
The Suns are without Chris Paul, so they're playing really well. Devin Booker had,
and they've taken a couple of losses, like in the past week or so. They lost to the Raptors,
and then they absolutely walloped the Lakers last night by 30.
140. Put up a $140 on LeBron.
Thanks, Anthony Davis.
My God,
they heard you. They heard
Packers
you loud and
fans, am I
right? So I'm just gonna trick my brain into being on the same side as you guys and saying that I'm not worried about Zach playing in this game. To me, it just seems random when he's playing and when he's not. And we know that he's clearly just going to fight through whatever is ailing him with this knee for the rest of this season because he knows what's at stake this season.
I think they'll be careful with him. He probably, this is just my speculation, but it wouldn't surprise me if he takes, 1 game off per week for the rest of the season. Something like that where they're just managing his pain and, like I said, taking it day by day.
And also, I think Zach, even though I know he has that high tolerance of pain, and even though I know he wants to play in every single game, I think he's being a little more cautious about it too. One, because there's 15 games left. You're going to the playoffs. That's really where you get your national notoriety. And 2, that contract's coming up. But 3, we know how bad he wants to win. And he knows without him being healthy.
Bigger picture of the season.
Yeah, way bigger picture for him, man. And I feel like he looks at it a little bit better than in previous years.
Yep.
Will, we also heard from Billy pregame, and by we I mean you heard from Billy pregame, about updates on both Patrick Williams and Lonzo Ball, 2 more guys that Bulls fans are eager to see return. Let's start with Patrick Williams because it sounds like he is going to be coming back sooner between those 2. What did Billy have to say about P-Dub?
Yeah, no return date yet. It seems like he's progressing a little bit more quickly, like you said, than Lonzo. He mentioned probably not in the next week, but probably before the end of the month. So it sounds like they're going to ease him in, not really rush him in to the starting lineup. He's going to take his time, assuming everybody's healthy, nothing happens with Javonte or Derek Jones. They're going to ease him in and sort of get him into playoff form over the 10 or however many odd games there are left. Lonzo things are moving a little bit more slowly.
Don't like the Lonzo news.
Yeah,
don't like it.
There's no date or timeline right now. So the initial timeline was 6 to 8 weeks. This is week 6. So there's still a couple more weeks in that original timeline. He is dealing with a bone bruise that they found when they did the scope before the initial surgery. So things are moving a little bit more slowly for him, a little bit more pain management, and he is not yet fully sprinting or doing anything full speed, running, jumping, anything like that. So he's moving, but moving a little slower.
What does, in your opinion, what does your gut tell you about Patrick Williams and his kind of return date, in your opinion?
It sounds like it will be the last week of March.
Okay.
That would be my guess. Lonzo, last week of March is also the original timeline for him, but it also, again, speculation on my part, would not surprise me if this is first week of April or second week of April.
I mean, I think that's kind of where we are now, is hoping that Lonzo is cleared to come back before the Bulls' first playoff series starts.
And that's mid-April, so I think the play-in tournament is around April 12th.
Right.
So, yeah.
Oh, I forgot that gives us now a little extra buffer of time, assuming, knock on wood, the Bulls don't have the bottom fall out and fall into that play-in tournament. They're still 4 games clear of Toronto in 7th, I believe, right now, as the standings come into tonight's game. Obviously, people were hoping that you get all the pieces back to have at least a handful of regular season games for Billy to kind of figure out what he likes rotation-wise, how to use people, where to use people, and for some of these guys that have been out for a long time to knock off some of the rust. We're clearly getting that with Alex Caruso, which is great, and we saw on Saturday just how important he is to this team. For any Bulls fans who were still doubting that, y'all learned your lesson on Saturday. Thank you. But I gotta say, it's great if we get Peta back by the end of March. That's awesome. It sounded like Billy said he's going to ease him in, probably doing so off the bench instead of putting him right back into that starting lineup where he was to begin the season. I have no issues with that.
Zero.
But what Lonzo gives this team on both ends of the floor, not just his defense, but that court vision, the passing ability, and the fact that the Bulls are one of the lowest volume three-point shooting teams in the NBA. I need Lonzo threes back in my life, you guys.
And I'm with you, but that's the reason I haven't panicked yet, is because it's still in that time frame of 6 to 8 weeks. I think if it gets closer to the 8 weeks and he's still kind of where he is now, then I think that's that time to be concerned and start getting that worry. But he's still on the schedule right now, so I can't panic yet.
He's still on schedule. For me, I just want him to get healthy at some point. If it happens before the regular season ends, that would be 10 weeks. That'd be great.
Yeah.
But I would be cautious and not want to rush him in anything, even if it's within that 8-week window. If he's not ready, there's no reason to push it for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Shout out to Love Music Video Art in the comments saying, and life is normal with injury news and Matt being concerned about it. Yeah, that's kind of how life works. A couple other notes for tonight's game. Domantas Sabonis missed the previous 2 games for the Kings with an excused personal absence. He is expected to play tonight. So it looks like the Kings will be pretty much full strength, or at least what they've been accustomed to as far as what means full strength for them recently. They are on a pretty terrible skid. The Kings come into tonight's game having lost 4 in a row and 8 of their last 10.
Yeah.
They are 24-45, 4.5 games back of that 10th spot in the West. So they are not all the way dead. They could still mathematically go on some crazy run here and sneak into the play-in tournament.
Sure.
I don't necessarily see that in their future.
I don't either, but I love watching the Kongs, man. I really do. That's one of my favorite teams to sit and watch. You know how I feel about De'Aaron Fox.
I was going to say, are you a Fox fan, Sabonis fan? There aren't too many reasons to get excited about the Kings.
Dude, I've been a huge De'Aaron Fox for a very long time.
Since he's really coming
college.
on.
Yeah, I've been.
He had a slow start to the season, but he absolutely torched the Bulls in their last matchup. The Bulls just had no way to contain his speed. No. I think he plays off of Sabonis really well, so they are a fun duo.
Yeah, as soon as he got some talent around him, it's amazing what it can do. And then if you look at his numbers, over the last 10, it's 41-11, 32-10, 24-7, 44-6, and on and on and on. And all of them, except for the first game of 41-11, they're all on 50% shooting. Like, he is really playing really well. Like, as soon as he got Sabonis, I don't know if you ever saw that picture of the first game Sabonis was there and the way he was hugging Sabonis. Like, oh my God, thank you for being here, man. He's been a godsend for De'Aaron Fox. Now, the team, of course, they're still the Sacramento Kings. So there's still a lot of things they got to work out. But those two guys are definitely building blocks for them.
Domantas Sabonis is to De'Aaron Fox as DeMar DeRozan is to Zach LaVine.
Ooh,
is that what you're saying?
Feels like it.
All right. We do want to take a closer look at that Bulls-Kings game from back just last month of February. We will do that next. But first, Big Dave, tell the people about all the fun they should be having with PointsBet.
My favorite part of the show.
And my parlay for you for tonight.
Missed having my man Will here with me on this one. We're going to get my man Parlay Peck in a second.
Yeah.
But to tell you guys, the best way to support CHGO is to download that PointsBet app and use that code CHGO when you sign up. And if you do that right now, you'll get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. I hope you heard that. $1,000. But guess what? That's not it. If you make a $50 or more first-time deposit, you'll receive a free CHGO membership. And what you going to get with that? It unlocks all of our web content, and you'll even get, guess what, y'all? One of them dope free T-shirts. You're going to get one, y'all. Oh, should have had some applause ready for me on that one, big dog. But yes, that's what you should get, man. And you'll also, your choice from that CHGO locker, whatever you like, you'll get it. That's $2,000 in free bets, a free CHGO membership, and a free T-shirts from the CHGO locker, all for making a $50 first-time deposit at PointsBet. And now, y'all, introducing the PointsBet's new feature, the live college basketball same-game parlay. So for the first time ever, you can build the perfect live same-game parlay only with PointsBet. And now, people in Illinois, guess what? Don't have to go outside no more. Don't have to go down and stand in front of that sketchy dude that you've been looking at you with because you're trying to sign up and get your PointsBets on. You can sit at home, on your desktop, on your laptop, on your phone, and sign right on up. Plus, PointsBet March Madness. Ooh. All users can earn up to $100 in free bets. You heard me, free. During each round, just place a $50 pregame wager and get free $20 live bet to be used for that round. So what the hell are you waiting for? JC, once the game starts, you don't just bet. Tell them what you do, Will.
You live your bet life.
With PointsBet. Hit me one time there, brother.
Do it.
I missed it so much. I missed it.
Oh, man.
I missed it.
I love that you threw a little Jay-Z in there, too.
Thank you, kindly.
All right, here we go. My 6-leg parlay for tonight, for those of you who want to throw down on this.
You were very excited for this.
6 legs we got.
I like it. It's
I'm
a good
taking
one.
Sabonis over 17.5.
Okay.
I'm taking DeMar to score 25 plus. I'm taking the over on 4.5 assists for Io and for DeMar. Over 4.5 assists for both of them. I'm taking Sabonis to get 10 plus rebounds. And my man Javonte Green has been knocking the threes down lately. Give me Javonte Green over 0.5 made threes. And that is my PointsBet 6-leg parlay for tonight. Let's
Hammer
make
that.
some money, y'all.
Hammer that.
Hammerlock. Parlay Peck in the building, sir.
I like it. I like it.
There it is.
All right, y'all. Let's take a little journey back to February 16th when the Bulls and Kings had their first matchup this season. It was a win for the Bulls. It was the game in which DeMar broke that Wilt Chamberlain record of 35 plus points.
Remember
on
that?
50 plus. God, it was just
That was
felt like
majestic.
yesterday. So great. Some other highlights from that game: Kobe White going off, drilling 6 threes on his way to 31 points. He also had a big fourth quarter with 13 in the fourth.
Wow.
6 assists. And you were talking about Kobe limiting the turnovers the other night, Dave. Check that out. Kobe played 40 minutes in this game against the Kings, 6 assists and 1 turnover. We also were just discussing De'Aaron Fox having a monster night, 33 points on a very efficient 14 of 26. He did also dish out 9 assists, but had high turnover number. Sabonis, 22 on 10 of 15, 12 and 8. That is a classic Sabonis stat line right
Should
there.
have seen him when he was younger.
And this was a game that has gone like many for the Bulls while they were shorthanded with their bench unit getting rocked by the Kings.
True indeed. I love that game from Kobe White. That's what you kind of want. I like the fact he's efficient now. I like the 9.7 assists, 7 rebounds. I like it. It's nice. But where I love Kobe White is when he's just losing his mind from that 3-point line.
You love the threes.
Yes, man. I love it, Will. It's
and that's where he's at his best. Mm-hmm. And, with LaVine back in, with DeMar playing the way that he's been playing, Io, handling a lot of the ball handling responsibilities, that's where Kobe thrives. He's getting slotted into that sixth man, just gunner role, and I think that's where he's at his best.
Oh, Sabonis. I love him.
So the Bulls could get a nice little tidy 2-game season sweep here against the Kings tonight. Mm-hmm. They did have to make the trip all the way out west. It's always harder to play out west.
True. By the way, 9 p.m. start times should not be
outlawed.
This is
be
rough.
Outlawed. I agree.
This is rough. Our post game show is going to start late.
Oh.
I hope you guys come back for it.
Oh, you will come back.
Well, and who knows? Well, we know all the people in Australia, all the Bulls fans in Australia will be awake, right?
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, it'll be
It's like it's getting towards
tomorrow.
supper time for them. By the time we're going to be done with this.
Normal hours.
Quick comment from Aldrich here. Sure. Matt and Dave, love you guys. Thank you. You should also love Will.
Hello.
Get to know Will. Get to love Will.
Come on.
He's far more
Where's
lovable.
the
You see the hair.
That's for damn sure.
You see the hair. Come on. Will.
Is there a world where Io starts over Lonzo? Yeah, in the Upside Down from Stranger Things. No.
Yeah, well done.
No.
I like that. That was very well done.
And look, Aldridge is not the first person I've heard this question from when it comes to Bulls fans looking at where the Bulls are, the development of Io in his rookie year, and bringing Lonzo back. And, us just now discussing how quickly we want Lonzo to be back and that it might be a minute. No. You paid Lonzo to come here. You orchestrated that sign and trade. You got a tampering penalty
for that sign
to
and
bring
trade.
Lonzo here.
Yes, you did.
We love Io DeSumo, and we appreciate how well he has held that starting job down in Lonzo's absence. No. Lonzo is your starter.
It just
when
makes
he's ready.
it makes the depth so much better.
Yes.
It makes him so much better. Also, it makes Io that much better. It takes that pressure
People
off.
forget how good Lonzo is. We can talk about it more in the post game, but
Sure.
Yes.
he is just as good as Caruso is on the ball. Lonzo is off the ball.
There's also that fun little idea that you can throw around of once Lonzo's back, does Billy, who loves 3-guard lineups and smaller lineups,
Give me the 5-guard lineup,
dude, have certain
DeMar
stretches, maybe significant certain stretches where Lonzo, Caruso, and Io are all on the floor at the same time. And how suffocating that defense would be.
That would be absolutely vicious. I also like to point out in that last game, that Matt Thomas had 3 points. But, yeah, man, I really want to see.
Get out of here.
I really? Yeah.
Really? You had to sneak that in?
What's wrong with sneaking in, Matty
he was
Legend?
0 for 3.
Yeah, but 3 of 3 from the free throw line is what he did because he got fouled shooting a 3. Because they knew who was happening. They knew it. They had to get on him, man. But I also want to talk about Davion Mitchell as well because I feel like he's their Io DeSumo. Like he came in, not being a guy, highly regarded, thought, they didn't know what they were kind of getting from him. But from the G League on, he has just been an absolute monster, especially defensively.
And he has the best nickname.
What's his nickname?
Off night.
Off night?
Yeah.
I did not know
Because when he's guarding you, you have an off night.
Wow.
That makes more sense.
it.
I heard it and I was like, that's a terrible nickname. Just a guy who people call off night because he's always playing like crap.
It's a level 2 nickname. You got to think about it for a second.
That's
once you get it,
amazing.
it's a great nickname.
Wow. Shout out to him for having that, man. We got to get Io a cool one in.
And they also have Rashawn Holmes, who has been moved to a bench role. Chicago guy. He's really good. I think that they've got some nice pieces. This is not just another one of those games. We talked about it with the Pistons where they can just waltz in and expect to get the win here.
Right.
They're going to have to execute, and it's a good thing Zach is playing, in my opinion.
All right. So we are on board with Zach playing. Good to know.
We're on board with Zach playing.
I'm talking myself into it. I'm sounding confident. I'm not sure I actually am, but I'm talking you guys into
You
it.
talk me into it, Will. I'm there now. I'm there.
Us locals here are kind of whining about a 9 p.m. start time. We got people in the comments. Stuart, what up, Stuart? Saying it's almost 1 p.m. in Australia currently, Matt. That's great. Like
1 p.m.
between lunch and dinner Bulls extravaganza. And poor Nick P saying, I'm enjoying this game in Indy, 10 p.m. start time. That's the worst.
Okay. All right.
I lived on the East Coast for a while, and man, those 10 o'clock start times, you're like, what?
That just sounds wrong.
It's going to be tomorrow by the time we're all done here.
That just sounds wrong, man. Oh, I'm so sorry. You win. You win, sir. You win. Oh, my goodness. 10 p.m.?
Like, I remember certain Blackhawks playoff runs from that 3-cup run from 2010 to
Yes.
2015.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get used to it when the Bulls are in the finals.
I know,
true.
right?
It's
Where
true.
they would,
like
you know,
that.
they would have like a
that.
9 o'clock
I like that.
puck drop, and then they would play these epic games where they would go to like triple overtime.
Yeah.
And you're like, it is 1:45
I
in
have
the
to
morning,
leave
and
for
I am
work
still watching
in
playoff
20
hockey.
minutes.
Oh, and by the way, I've had 14 beers, and it's a Tuesday. Gotcha.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you continue drinking because of the overtime?
Yeah,
You
because
didn't
you're
stop?
stress drinking because it's playoff hockey.
You stress drink?
Yes. For the
Okay.
playoffs?
Okay,
Absolutely.
All right. I would stop. Like after a certain point, I would feel it because I would want to remember the game that I'm watching. But that's not how you operate.
I definitely did that Crown Royal thing where you like have a water break. You know, you mix in a water every once
you
in a
mean that
while.
Crown Royal thing? You mean water? Like,
No, isn't that like?
I know it's a commercial, but
Right.
the fact that you're associating it with the alcohol
That's the only
is
thing that
hilarious.
reminds him to keep
Right.
drinking water.
It's
Remember,
an
Crown
effective
Royal told me to
ad
get some
campaign.
water. Oh my
It's an
goodness.
effective ad campaign. You're hanging out at the sports bar. You're hanging out with your friends watching the game. You're all slamming beers. Water break.
Crown Royal. They should make their own water now, dude. Just do that, Crown Royal. Make your own water.
Especially as you age. It's important to hydrate while you're drinking, watching your sporting events.
Yeah, even when you're young, hydrate when you're drinking, watching sporting events.
Yes,
guys.
but it's even more important as you age.
I won't argue that.
I've learned.
I won't argue.
All right, guys. We also wanted to take a quick look at Domantas Sabonis and what he's done since coming over in that trade. This game against the Bulls back in February was one of the first few he played coming out of that trade.
Yeah.
And his numbers are actually pretty
look at the
similar
crown.
when you
Heavy
look
as
at
the head.
his first half the season with Indy and what he's done in his 11 games so far with the Kings. Scoring's a little bit down, shooting efficiency is a little bit down, and usage is a little bit up. So not a huge striking difference anywhere there. You see also what he's done in 4 games against the Bulls. This will be the 5th time the Bulls have faced Domantas Sabonis this season because they played him 3 times as a Pacer, and now this will be the 2nd time as a King. What do you guys think about this trade that went down, this big Pacers-Kings trade, a month after the fact? Because I think most people panned it for the Kings because they gave up Tyrese Halliburton.
True.
Do you feel any differently about it now, having seen, like as you were saying, Dave, what Sabonis has been able to do for Fox over there in Sacramento?
I mean, I felt the same way because I remember we were talking about this in our group chat, and I'm a huge De'Aaron Fox guy. So I like the fact they, try to build around a guy who can get you 25 and 7. Like, I think that's a very smart move. But getting him more talent and building around that, yeah, that's a good thing. But of course, Tyrese Halliburton is nice. Okay, that dude can play some basketball, and that was a shock that they were letting him go like that. But Sabonis has found a home. Like you can just tell he is home. That is where he belongs. That's where he needs to be. But Halliburton and what they're doing with the Pacers is nice right now. They're starting to look like a nice team, and you can see his growth also as a point guard.
Yeah, when the Kings got Sabonis, they moved him into more of that offensive hub role that was a little bit difficult for him to play next to Miles Turner. Right now, he's the pure center.
Sure.
They're playing Harrison Barnes and Mo Harkless or Jeremy Lamb or whoever it is on the wing. So it makes a little bit more sense for him, and I think it was a positional thing where they wanted that big man to go along with one of their 2 guards. From what it sounded like, I remember hearing this, I don't remember where, but they were getting their guy no matter the cost. And the Pacers wanted Halliburton, so they traded Halliburton. Halliburton's looked great in Indiana. He's averaging 19.6, 9.5 assists, 2 steals, shooting 51% from the field, 44% on threes since the trade. So he is
44?
on fire.
I'm gonna say that's
Damn.
good.
And that's in 13 games, so small sample size, but not, nothing.
Yeah.
And it's just another one of those super young, super talented guys that's going to be in the Central Division for the next 10 years. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, I mean that I think was my first thought when that trade went down. Was like, oh crap, Tyrese Halliburton's going to be in the Bulls division for the foreseeable future. And no disrespect to Sabonis, because that's certainly no cakewalk of a player to have to play all the time too.
No,
but God, Halliburton just looks like everybody kind of agrees that Halliburton was the prize in either direction.
Yes.
Of all the pieces moved in that trade.
That's true. I definitely agree with that.
I think so, and that's the flaw for me in the Kings' logic there is that they treated Sabonis like he was the crown jewel. And if you're going to trade Halliburton, 21 21, 22-year-old second-year player. You want to package him along with somebody else to get that all-star. I guess Sabonis is an all-star, but superstar level player.
Right.
And instead, they got sort of a fringe all-star. Sabonis is really good. He's 25, 26 years old.
Yeah.
He's going to be a foundational piece there. But could they have done better? Maybe.
Maybe they could, but you can't argue with the result as far as the way they look on the floor together. You can argue with the wins and losses, of course.
Well, those come few and far between.
Yes, very
Sacramento,
true.
regardless.
Yes, very true. But the way De'Aaron Fox and the way Sabonis are looking together, it looks like a good match for those two guys.
Here's a question. Halliburton, Patrick Williams. Halliburton went 12th to Sacramento in that 2020 NBA draft. I'm surprised he fell that far. I think a lot of people are surprised he fell that far. If you were the Bulls front office, Halliburton's sitting there at 4. Do you entertain the idea of taking him over Patrick Williams? It is kind of an unfair question for Patrick right now.
Yeah,
because he is right now having missed basically the entirety of his sophomore NBA season.
Yeah. Well, you know me, man. I'm riding with anything AK and Eversley want to do. Like, whatever they say they want to do. Okay, great. You want Patrick Williams over Tyrese Halliburton? Fine. You see something that I don't see, and I'm just going to roll with that. So I'm completely comfortable with Patrick Williams.
I think looking back at it now, the answer is Halliburton.
Sure,
he's
because
been
of the
really
injuries
good.
and how he's
At
looked.
the time, things were different. You're, looking at a guy who's rising quickly up draft boards, who other teams are really excited about, who plays a premier position in the NBA, and who's super young. I mean, he's still 20 years old, 19 years old. So I still believe in Patrick's upside. I think he's going to be really good, but Halliburton is already really good, and I think that's kind of hard to fight against. The other thing there is just the positions and, what the Bulls were trying to do at the time. That was AK's first move as the president of basketball operations. So, I mean, you have to trust the vision that he's trying to, construct with the roster there. So
and also at that time, they were still trying to figure out certain things, like about Kobe White. If he was going to be
you
that
do
guy
have
that
Kobe,
could play
you
point
do
guard.
have Zach.
They were still trying to figure that out. You know what I mean? If he could be that guy. And as soon as they figured that out, oh, you're not. Immediately you saw Lonzo. Immediately you saw Io. Immediately you saw Caruso. And they addressed it. And I like the fact they addressed it that way because even though Halliburton is good, it's still learning. And he would be starting and still learning. It felt like, the front office is trying to win now. So they wanted to go ahead and, get those pieces that put them in that better position to win now than instead of waiting.
Yep.
Love music video in the comments saying Halliburton, Cyclone alumni here, but you can't teach being tall and long. See, for me, that was my biased. I don't want Halliburton feeling.
Because of the college,
Because it was Iowa State.
Okay.
And I was like, if I have to watch the Bulls draft
hurt you,
one
Matt?
more person. I think it's.
I can answer that
clear
question.
who hurt me. And it was the person running the Bulls who would not give up on his obsession with the state of Iowa. This Iowa, of all places to be obsessed with.
Shout out to
Iowa?
Grinnell College, baby.
Iowa.
Well, you asked.
My God.
You asked.
But see, now here's Jake Smith following up with a good point that is already easing my anger, which is what's great about having competent management is you don't have to question that they did their research and explored all options.
Talk to him, Jake.
And at the time, Halliburton, it didn't seem like he was going to be this offensive engine that he has turned into. So I think they were betting on tools, they were betting on upside, and Halliburton seemed like more of a safer, sure thing with a lower ceiling. So
Sure. That's a good point.
Wait, were we talking about? What were we talking about?
I don't know. Well, see, now I just read in the comments, so it reminded me all over. Guy Finley in the comments saying, show us where on the doll the Hawkeye touched you. My heart and my brain. Mostly it broke my brain, Guy. That's what happened.
And his brain and his mind.
And your heart, too. And your mind,
And your
too.
mind.
Turn it on its side. Cello, you got a bass. School of Rock.
Don't start with the School of Rock.
We'll be here all night. Hey,
Oh,
you have
Joey.
no idea.
You have
No
Big Dave
clue.
and I could enact that entire movie for
So
you.
could
right
I. You know,
here.
Freddie Jones was an alumni of my elementary school, Sherwood Pandas.
Really?
Nice.
Yes, Kevin Clark.
R.I.P. Correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
I was gonna say on a sadder note.
Yeah. Sad no. Freddie Jones, great drummer.
Yeah. Get ready to get
All right,
that
as we get
reenactment.
out of here, Aldridge asks score predictions for the game tonight. He's taking 112-99 Bulls victory. Dave.
Yes.
That was my thought too. What about you, Will?
Sure.
Yeah. You know what else that means?
What's
Two
that?
straight opponents held under 100 points. How about that?
Caruso
How about
effect.
that?
Caruso effect.
It's in there,
Can't
baby.
wait to
All
see
right,
it.
it is 9 o'clock Chicago time. You know what that means. Tip-off just minutes away. So we'll get out of here. For those of you who are braving these late-night hours to watch Bulls basketball and are true fans like us, we will see you right back here on the CHGO Sports YouTube channel for a full Bulls post-game with me, with Big Dave, and with Will. And don't forget to use that promo code CHGO when you sign up for your PointsBet account for that awesome 2 risk-free bets of up to $2,000.
Code
And hey, you
CHGO.
still got time to throw in that 6-game parlay I gave you. Do it.
Parlay Peck. You heard Shia.
We'll see y'all back here for post-game.